Hello and welcome to today's live YouTube lesson here on the AM Language YouTube channel with me, Richie. I am in a different location and I am also late, so apologies. I am sorry, I am just over 5 minutes late. A technical difficulty that has been solved. I hope everyone has had a good week. I last gave a lesson last Wednesday, and I've been off. So I've had a total of 4 working days off, which is why there weren't any other lessons, YouTube lessons. Hello, Arena F. Good afternoon. Welcome to today's lesson. And thank you very much for watching. I hope everyone is doing well. So in today's lesson, we're just going to look at what you guys can expect this week, and then we'll go into some. We'll start looking at 1 or 2 questions we might have when it comes to the English language. So let's start off with what you guys can expect this week. I don't expect there to be a full class today. Usually, I mean, this is the longest amount of time I have not done a video in terms of daily live lessons. Well, wait a minute. What about when I was, yeah, even in the summer when it was really busy, I think I still managed at least 3 lessons a week. I don't think I've ever taken 4 days off from not doing a daily live lesson. So I don't expect there to be many people today. But just to let you guys know about what you can expect. After today, we've only got 2 days left of the week. Thursday and Friday. So tomorrow, we'll be looking at sentence building. In this, sentence challenge. This is a good one for all levels. This is where we will have a really good look at different sort of sentences, and we have to try and complete the sentence. There will be multiple ways of doing that, but it's a good way for you guys to have a look at the different ways in which we can use the English language to complete sentences, ranging from simple ways of completing sentences to something that's more difficult. Good afternoon, Francesca. Welcome to today's lesson. Boa tarde, yes, I believe that's correct in Portuguese. Привет, Irina. And what else? Yes, Friday, word building. I've done this quite a few times, but the word building exercise is very good. This is where we go through trying to develop our range of vocabulary, and we end up trying to reduce the need to repeat ourselves. This is where we look at word building. So this is where we might look at synonyms. We might look at antonyms as well. Antonyms are the opposites. So if you say good, bad is an antonym. Right and wrong would be an antonym. But most probably we'll look at synonyms, really. So that's what you can expect this week. Now, other things as well, you will know that the school is open again. So if you have, and this is really important, if you have your vaccine passport, which is recognized as well within the, it has to be one of these things that are recognized as well. So within the EU. So if the vaccine is recognized in the EU and you can find the long list of the different types of vaccines that are accepted, you can return to school physically. If you have not done so yet and you do want to have physical lessons, make sure you get your vaccine passport as soon as possible. I can see life is beginning to return to normal if you have got your vaccine passport. So, for instance, you can see I'm not in Malta at the moment. Um, Otherwise, I would not be wearing three each. By the way, clothing. This is a good one, by the way. Um, Layers. In this case, 3 layers. When we use the word layers, layers is to do with the number of layers of clothing you are wearing. Now, here we go. So, for instance, I'm wearing 1, 2, and 3. 3 layers. That's because the country I am in at the moment is not Malta. In Malta, it's 1 layer and a very thin layer because in Malta it is boiling. It is seriously hot in Malta. Um, Come to think of it, every year I have said I've been in Malta for 10. I've lived in Malta for 10 years. And each year it felt like each summer period was getting longer and hotter. And this year was really, really hot. I thought this year was hotter. The reason why I say it was hotter, it's not because Malta never gets to temperatures like 38. It has done. But the period of time that it's 38, 39 degrees is longer. That's what we call a heat wave. And the heat waves in Malta seem to be lasting longer. Now, the country I'm currently in is a lot colder, which is why I'm now wearing 3 layers, because it's much colder. So, yeah. I don't need to, but if you, so yes, we can refer to clothing as layers. I cannot remember what I was talking about. Ah, yes, vaccines originally. So make sure you do get your vaccine. Now, this is where I was going. Okay. And this is a good one, by the way. Trail of thought. Okay. A trail of thought is what your thought process, what you're walking along. Are you HEA here? Do you mean here? No, I'm not here, as in Malta. No. I'm in a much colder country. I'm currently in Ireland. So, like I was saying, the trail of thought is your thought process. So you can ask, what is your trail of thought? What was my trail of thought? Okay. And trail of thought, okay, is a really, really good bit of language. Trail of thought simply means the what you were thinking and where you were going with your thoughts. Okay, that's what a trail of thought is. Now, my trail of thought, uh, going back to the vaccine passport, is I have my vaccine passport, for example, on my mobile phone. And it has made traveling easier. You don't need a PCR test for many countries now if you have your vaccine passport. And when you go to a place, you'll go into the place, and the person, maybe the waiter, waitress, barman, barmaid, will have their phone, and they will scan your COVID passport, and it will come up with 2 terms. Okay. The good term is in English would be verified. Okay, so you want it to be verified. If it's verified, it means allowed and accepted. Now, the opposite in this case would be not verified, okay, meaning not accepted. So if you've had your vaccine passport, if you have your vaccine passport and you've had it for and you've downloaded it, you go along, the person will scan it and it will tell you verified or not verified. It should be verified, especially if the um, the the vaccine you have had is accepted in the EU. So I do encourage everyone to try and get their vaccines. Now, at school at the moment, for those of you who have been, you will see that the classrooms are are well very different. Um, each classroom has a limit, and we cannot go over that limit. And the layout of the classroom. Now, layout, okay, is the design of the classroom. That's what I mean by layout, okay, with the desks, the chairs, tables, cannot be changed. So in some classes, you've got 3. Some classes, you've got 4 students. I think the average is about 5 students, and then there's some classes where you can have 6, 7 students. The most is 9 students. Very different to what we are used to. The other difficult thing is for the teacher. The teacher is definitely going to find this way of teaching difficult. For those of you who've had lessons with at AM Language before, you will know that teachers like to put you into pairs. They like to put you into groups. So you guys it's supposed to be a student-centered or student-focused type of lesson. But this setup, this layout is a lot more difficult. It's difficult to make it student focused and student centered. So the teachers are going to have to work very hard to come up with creative ideas in terms of how they can make the lessons enjoyable and good. And fun and interactive and still student focused. But you will notice that the teachers will probably end up speaking more than you are used to. And don't worry about that. They will still give you very good lessons. But it's a change. It's a change in terms of how we as teachers would normally teach. And the period is adaptation. Now, the word adaptation, it probably translates into your own language if you're speaking a Latin-based language. Adaptation is the noun, adapt is the verb, and that is to change with the times. Okay, that's what we mean by adapt or adaptation. It's to change with the times in order to deal with the problems. So that's what you guys can expect going back to school. And I hope in the end we can see most students back at school enjoying the environment of learning with other students, because it's so important, and for you guys to do your level tests as well, so you can move up to the next level. Okay, so for the remainder of this video, let's have a little look at some interesting bits of language that we can look at. Now, the first thing is, one of the things I'm going to look at here is just generally a good question. Okay, a good question. The question is to do with prepositions. And the question is this. how do I know which preposition to use? Okay. Now you guys will probably have thought of this as well. How do I know which preposition to use? How do I know if I need a preposition as well? This is not, both of these questions, I'm going to tell you now. I cannot give you a general answer to these questions. These two questions are questions that I know students have asked. I remember, now I've been teaching English for 10 years, and these are two questions that I know come up a lot, but I cannot give you a general answer. What I can give you is this. I can give you what we would call, we call word collocation. Okay. Word collocation is the knowledge of a language whereby you know that a certain word is supposed to come after another word. So, for example, if I write looking, if I use the word looking, I know automatically that there are certain words I can use after the verb looking. Now, the normal preposition is looking for something, because that is what I would automatically think of. Then you could also say looking forward to something, for example. So automatically, depending on the context, I can automatically think to myself, right, if the verb is look, the preposition I'm going to think of is for. Or I might, in another sentence, think of looking forward to something, and to is going to be the preposition of looking forward. Okay. So it's about getting to know what words normally follow. Sorry, it's about getting to know what words you should expect after other words. So let's try this, okay? I write the word depends, okay? Blank, what will, okay. Now the rest of the context does not matter here, okay? Does not matter. Without me giving you any ideas, would any of you who are watching like to actually automatically tell me what you think, which preposition can come after depends? And then I'll explain to you a little bit in terms of how we can learn about which words come after which words. Okay. So Francesca, thank you very much. Depends on. Okay, so if you agree with Francesca, just tell me you agree. But if you think that, maybe it's not on, maybe it's another preposition, let me know in the live chat. I'll give you guys about 30 seconds and then I'll move on. Irina, thank you very much for joining today. Much appreciated. And you've agreed with Francesca that it's on. And correct. Okay, that is correct. That is on. Irina F, thank you very much. You're correct as well. Yeah, so the preposition is on. And this is because you've got something called, funnily enough, dependent prepositions. Okay, dependent prepositions. There are certain for every, like when you look at verbs, for example, you can find if it's a verb that has lots of prepositions or maybe only one or two prepositions. Now, depend is something called a dependent preposition because you always use depend on. I cannot say depend in, for example, or depend for. That cannot be done. So when we see the word depend, we automatically can reasonably say, okay, it's going to be on. Now let's say I go with a slightly different word, okay? Let's go with apply. This is one where we're going to have to think about the context. Okay, so option 1. Number 2. Actually, no, it's only option 1, actually. Sorry, I got confused for a moment. So what do you think for this one? I want to apply this job. What do you guys think? What preposition would you go with here? Okay, so Francesca said on, so I want to apply on this job. Well, if you agree with Francesca, let me know. But if you have a different one, oh, okay, so Francesca might change her answer. Irina F has gone for 4. Okay, thank you very much. Let's see. Let's see what you guys are going. Let's see what you guys are going to go for here. Can you agree? Okay, 2, 4. Okay, so we've got slightly different answers. Okay, so let's see here. Well, in this case, you apply for a job. You apply for a job. And that is the dependent preposition of apply. You apply for something, for example. You can apply for a teaching position. You can apply for a banking position, whatever it might be. Now, however, what if I wrote this? Now I've done something slightly different. I've used the verb apply. I've used it in the past, but that's not the issue. The issue is what comes after. Have I used a verb or have I used a noun? So in the first one, you can see I want to apply for this job. I've used a noun. I want to apply for this job. Now I've done something different. I applied work for the BBC, a very famous news organization. So what do you guys think about this one? Okay, we've still got 4 afterwards for the BBC. What do you think over here? I applied. Do you think I applied for work for the BBC? Or do you think maybe this is going to be a slightly different answer? Let me know your ideas. Okay, so Irina has gone for 2. Let me know, actually, if you agree with her. Okay, and Francesca thinks 4. Okay, now in this case, it's going to be I applied to work for the BBC. Okay, and automatically we can see that we have to think slightly differently. Irina, well done. Yes, it's 2. So here is a good rule. This is something that you guys can sort of add to the rule book here. Now, there are other prepositions you can use, but these are the main 2 prepositions you can use with apply. If you apply and you're applying for something like a job, for example, then you're going to use for. I applied for this job. But if you're going to go with the verb, then it's going to be to, because it's the infinitive. And that's a good rule to remember. I applied for this job, but if you're going to use the verb work, well, just think of it like the infinitive, to infinitive. I applied to work for the BBC. I applied to work for Singapore Airlines, for example. So little tricks, little bits of knowledge like that can really help us remember about which prepositions to use. And sometimes there's very little difference in meaning, but sometimes there are big differences in meaning. So let's see what you guys go with over here. Can you choose the right preposition in sentence 1 and sentence 2? Okay, choose the right preposition. So let me see. Let's go. There we go. So what do you guys think? You've got option 1 and option 2. What do you guys think? So in option 1, she applied something work for CNN, and option 2, he applied blank, the sales assistant position. Position, by the way, is a word you can use for job. Okay, this is the position. This is the job. Francesca says number 1 is 2 and 2 is 4. 1 is 2 and 2 is 4. Irina has the same answers. And let's see. Okay, so you all agree, and that's excellent. There you go. Yeah, you guys are correct. Okay, and that's a simple little trick that you guys have learned in this live lesson. So make sure, if you want to get better at using prepositions, you need to see the context, obviously, but just remember, sometimes you will use one preposition if you're talking about a noun and another preposition if you're going on to a verb. And these sort of little bits of knowledge can really help you to understand how to use prepositions. I would always say that don't be afraid just to go on Google, go on certain dictionary sites to help you actually you can look the answer up as well, and I do suggest you do that. I would say a good website. I'm always suggesting websites in terms of dictionaries. Here you go, www.macmillandictionary.com. I'll put that in the actual description below as well. So thank you very much, everybody. That brings us to the end of today's 30-minute daily live lesson. I'll be back tomorrow at 4:30 with another daily live lesson. Tomorrow we're going to look at sentence challenge. We're going to look at some challenging sentences, and we're going to try and complete and develop our sentences. Thank you, Richard. See you tomorrow, and have a good one as well, says Arena F. Thank you very much, Arena F, for your contribution and participation as always. Thank you very much, Arena, and thank you very much, Francesca, as well, and anyone else who might be watching. Make sure you like the video, share, and subscribe to the channel if you have not done so already. See you tomorrow, says Francesca. Have a nice day. Thank you very much, Francesca. Take care, and bye for now. And Manuel Jesus says, nice. Thank you very much, Manuel. Welcome to today's lesson. Welcome to the channel. If you haven't done so already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Thank you so much. Take care, everybody. See you tomorrow at 4:30, and bye for now.